In 1980, as a response to the success of her artwork The Dinner Party, a monumental piece of feminist history, Judy Chicago, with her non-profit feminist organization Through the Flower, initiated the International Honor Quilt. Through this project, Chicago invited hopeful contributing artists from all over the world to create a 24-inch equilateral triangle quilt that identified the name of the honoree as well as their respective city, state, and country. One such contributor was Mary Jo Dasick, who, in 1982, took the opportunity to honor American folk singer Joan Baez. Dasick said, "I have loved her music for the past 18 years. No matter what my mood, her song speaks to me." In fact, Joan Baez was a key figure in the folk revival movement in the 1960s, which was as significant politically as it was culturally. Born on January 9, 1941, Baez is the daughter of a physicist who taught at several universities throughout her childhood. Because of her father's occupation, Baez moved many times while growing up, from Los Angeles to Baghdad, experiencing many different environments. Not only did she witness discrimination as well as racial and economic division in the world around her, but she experienced it herself. Her father was Mexican and her mother was English-Scottish. She had dark skin yet was unable to speak Spanish, finding herself in a confusing middle ground. As a teenager, she began to play music and was drawn in particular to the guitar, which suited her soprano voice. After high school, her father took a job in New York, where she first encountered the growing folk scene on college campuses. She was drawn to the emotional connection she felt with folk music, saying, "I don't care very much about where a song came from, or why, or even what it says. All I care about is how it sounds and the feeling in it." As a musician, one of her notable accomplishments is her involvement in the early career of Bob Dylan, with whom she was romantically involved for several years. She frequently invited Dylan to join her on stage until his popularity surpassed her own and he failed to return the favor. However, this did not discourage her from continuing to perform, and she frequently used her performances as a platform for social justice. Throughout the 1960s protest movement, Baez often made free concert appearances, including those for UNESCO, civil rights organizations, and anti-Vietnam War rallies. In March of 1963, she performed at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s March in Washington, D.C. She and other performers served as a bridge between the movements on northern campuses and the southern civil rights movement. She marched again with Dr. King in 1965 from Selma to Montgomery. In addition, she joined Cesar Chavez's Fasting for Farm Workers Union struggle and a Christmas vigil outside the San Quentin State Prison in California to oppose capital punishment. Baez firmly believed in equality for all people and using peaceful efforts to recognize injustice. She also took a stand against the war in Vietnam, frequently participating in protests. She encouraged young men to resist the draft and was even arrested twice for blocking military induction centers. She also refused to pay taxes that would cover war expenses. In 1972, Baez took a trip to Hanoi, Vietnam in December to deliver Christmas presents and mail to American prisoners of war. While there, the United States began an intense bombing of the capital, the most intense bombing campaign of the entire war. Her experience is documented in her album, Where Are You Now, My Son?, which tells of the destruction and fear she witnessed during and after the attack. Now at the age of 75, Baez continues to support various movements that promote peace, justice, and equality. Recently, she has expressed outrage over the present-day race relations in the United States. She stated that she hopes to do a tour to highlight the issues of police violence, mass arrests of people of color, and torture in prisons. In May of 2015, Baez was awarded the Ambassador for Conscience Award, the highest honor given by Amnesty International. It is evident that Joan Baez's influence goes beyond her music. As a political activist, she stood up for young people who were not yet ready to risk their lives, for poor people who wanted recognition for their work, and for minorities who demand equal rights. She remains dedicated to her message, taking on modern issues in the U.S. and abroad. Based on this lifetime of commitment to bettering the lives of others, Joan Baez is very deserving of her spot on the International Honor Quilt.